When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we...
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. With that, let's get down to Mexico City. Standing by for the call, here are Senor Gordon and Senor Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they enter play here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Ready! You ready? 53 is the mark. Do your job! Show it up! Show it up!
Sony Michel, his first carry. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Winston. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Send over. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. Look, squeeze. Let's go.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st. That last run, pretty monumental, Charles. He just toppled 15,000 career rushing yards.
And that just leads me to a question, and even before that, the tip of the cap. How about that accomplishment? But just think in your life, what have you done positively 15,000 times, right?
I haven't driven 15,000 yards, let alone ran for 15,000 yards.
That is phenomenal.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He finds Hopkins complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Down. 60 outlaw.
On first down, it's Boyd. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
70 Indian.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Well, a lot of things have to go right for an option pitch to be successful. Everything lined up there on the long run.
It does, because you have to make the proper read. It doesn't matter what guy you've decided is going to be read on the defensive front. You still have to execute it. If he comes to the quarterback, you saw there, pitch it out to the running back, and off he goes. A lot of teams don't like to run the option because they don't like having their quarterback hit.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They'll look to throw now on first down. Got an open man. It's Washington. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Check 26, check 29.
Back to throw here. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. They're going to look to throw. Complete to Washington. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 24 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They come out here in the eye. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another first and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Being chased out left. And he will have a touchdown. An 8-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Throwing again on second down. Winston. Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Second quarter now, Falcon football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Ready. 18 Gator. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Go.
A first down carry for Barkley. Dancing away at the 30. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now back to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Drop deep.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on fourth down to bring up first and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
Come on. Ready.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
15 line. Check it out.
Here's Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They'll run it. This is Michel. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On the double.
They'll set up a throw. Washington's got it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now left side on the swing pass. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. Second and goal from the 1. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up third and goal.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead is now an even 30. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. That's to his running back, Sony Michel. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First down, Winston. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And that one results in 35 yards.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
90 Wolf. You're not ready. You're not ready. No, no, no. Hey, lock it. Be good.
They'll run on first down. McClellan. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Ready. 8 feet.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Shoot.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And that play there, boy, almost looked like it was a video game and he didn't know what the pitch button was. Not very well executed.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it is, you better figure it out fast. I suggest knowing it before you actually run that play.
2nd and 13. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
And it's a touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone. This
one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Off the draw, here's Michel. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On third down, it's Turner. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Looking to throw.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Down. 15 line. 15 line.
2nd and 3. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll drop the throw. To the right side and complete to Washington. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And it's Michel once again. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And a catch made by Hopkins. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a pass hauled in downfield and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great start to the 2nd quarter, better than 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Jameis to throw it. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula's not working right now. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up nicely with what looks to be a 1st and goal right around the 10-yard line.
Ready. 90, Wolf. 50. What we got?
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And here now come the Falcons. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position back.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Another try after the 1st down sack. Winston to Michelle on the screen. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Taken at about the 36. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
10-2 soft.
Don't get nervous.
Take go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. If someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
4 yards the pickup, first down.